From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Okay, one last look at the earthquakes. That was the big story this morning. 3:57, there was an earthquake. Many of you felt it. There was even some damage, which we'll take a look at that here in just a second. Let's take a closer look at where that epicenter was in particular. And that generally was between Buenaventura, north of Sacramento River, and Quartz Hill Road. Again, at 3:57 this morning, a magnitude initially reported at 3.7, but then the USGS backed down at 3.6. The depth at 10.9 miles, and definitely felt that. And there was a report from Lynn Jones, who saw this right after the earthquake and probably even heard the shatters of the glass on the tile floor there. I want to thank Lynn Jones for sending in this image. She sent it from the free Weather NorCal app. You can do the same. If you saw any damage or just want to send a picture in general, you can do it from the free Weather NorCal app, so be sure to check that out. All right, so let's take a look at our weather headlines. I do expect triple digits to return in the valley as early as today. We're really going to feel it, though, over the weekend. Also, a chance for mountain showers and thunderstorms mainly early next week. But there may be some activity in the eastern mountains in particular as early as Sunday afternoon. Now, the valley highs through next week are expected to be between 100 and 105, and that's really what we're going to be dealing with all next week, although there may be a slight dip in our temperatures near the end of next week and into that next weekend. So for today, about 100 degrees, give or take, for the valley. Excuse me. Temperatures in the mountains in the 80s and 90s, low 60s for the coast this afternoon. And take a look at your fire weather forecast sponsored by Garmin's Tractor Service. You see those winds this afternoon, a bit on the breezy side. They will be even breezy again tomorrow morning. Now, this is something keep in the back of your mind when we're looking at humidity, because tomorrow morning is not going to be a good time to mow your lawn, even though it probably will be cooler. There you can see by Saturday afternoon, the winds died down. Sunday morning, not as breezy in the morning, so that certainly is good news. And then there you can see by Sunday afternoon, those winds start to die down again. So again, in the back of your mind, remember, okay, for today, right, we're seeing those single digits, even some low to mid-teens for those humidity levels. Now look at tomorrow morning. The winds are gusty, 20, 25 miles per hour from the north. Look at the humidity levels, most likely 25 to 30%. That is too low, way too low for you to consider mowing that lawn. So I would consider taking that off the table here for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, though, the very dry again, single digits and in the teens to the north and east and the higher elevations as well. And Sunday morning, even though the winds are dying down, look how dry it is. We're talking about 20% on average at 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to be very dry the next few mornings, and that's pretty typical, though, especially as we go into the afternoon hours. All right, so not a good weekend to think about mowing that lawn, especially if it's that dry grass. So the reason why our temperatures haven't been as hot as they could have been is because we've seen a series of storms riding to our north. Those are cooler storm systems, and they've been preventing that heat from the south from moving on in. And that pattern that you see right there is what we've been dealing with all week long. But look what's happening as we go into the weekend. You see how we're starting to see more of an arc in that jet stream? That's the ridge of high pressure. You've got two main areas of high pressure building into our region. The main one is over the desert southwest. By the way, that's the same heat that's been giving it a heat wave off in the eastern United States. That's moving and building in our region over the weekend. But there's another area of high pressure over the eastern Pacific that's going to build in our region as well. The combination of the two will give us some pretty hot temperatures, 105, 106 for some of the warmer spots in the valley. Now, you see that cooler air early next week? That may penetrate that ridge a little bit here. But that cooler air is still pretty far to our north and west, farther to the north than the storms that we've seen this week. So yes, temperatures will drop slightly early next week, but still about 100 degrees in the valley. Then that moves on out, high pressure builds back in, it's going to be very hot. We may see a dip in those temperatures by late next week into that next weekend. So there's that mini roller coaster ride. Hottest over the weekend, that slight dip for Monday before going back up into the middle of next week. And then a dip in our temperatures, a slight dip by the end of next week into the next weekend. Now, an area of low pressure is going to be kind of hovering itself in our region here and move closer to us over the weekend. By Monday of next week, I think overall, everyone in the mountains has a chance for showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Same situation Tuesday, same situation Wednesday. As long as that low pressure system is in our area, even down to our south, that will be enough for us to see some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Now, this model, the GFS, wants to move it on out of here by the end of next week. Now, the European forecast model wants to keep it around possibly even through Friday. And that would continue to bring us a chance for showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, especially in the mountains to the north and east. We'll see. We'll get the timing of that, the intensity of those thunderstorms a little bit later, especially as we get closer to next week. But for today, no showers, no thunderstorms are in the forecast, but I do expect it to be hot. Around 100 degrees in the valley, 80s and 90s for the higher elevations. As we take a look at our forecast tonight, it's mild, dropping down to the low 70s for the valley, 40s, 50s for the higher elevations and along the coast. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. It's essentially going to be 100 degrees or higher for the valley for the next 7 days and even longer, most likely even through the end of next week. We take a look at our 7-day forecast for the coast, inland. I think you're mainly dry. Some of the far eastern parts of Del Norte and Humboldt counties, say Willow Creek, Orleans, for example, may see a stray shower or thunderstorm Monday or Tuesday. But I think most of it will be to the east of Del Norte and Humboldt counties. Trinity County, yeah, I think maybe Monday, Tuesday, but slimmer chances come Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Now for Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, essentially each and every single day, Monday through Friday of next week, there could be a chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms, with the exception of a slimmer chance in Mount Shasta on Wednesday. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to happen every day. This just means, this is what we call a broad brush forecast. It means the potential is there, and that's something we'll be watching and monitoring as we go through next week, because the potential for dry lightning is something we've got to really pay attention to as we go through next week. But bottom line, hotter this weekend, and even as we go into next week. All right, that's your afternoon update. I'll be back again this evening at 6 o'clock. Have yourselves a great afternoon.
Fire spreads quickly. Don't wait until it's too late. Garmin's Tractor Service specializes in field mowing and light tractor work to help protect your family, your property, and those around you. We're fully insured, locally licensed, and ready to help you create the defensible space you need. Call or text Garmin's Tractor Service today. Protect what matters before fire strikes you.